Marjorie Tylor Greene continues her QAnon service, or she does serve the god of Q, and then I guess secondarily, which seems sacrilegious, but I digress. She is pushing this talking point about how Biden's going to require a vaccine passport for you to even move about society, and that there's communism involved, but also fascism. She can't seem to tell the difference. Let's take a listen.
They want you to be required to have something called a COVID passport, and this would mandate your ability to be able to travel, your ability to be able to go to events, your ability to be able to buy and sell. And I asked the question earlier today, is this something like Biden's mark of the beast? Because that is really disturbing and not good. Oh, if you're going to come into the football game or the baseball game or the concert, you need your vaccine passport because we're trying to do a good job to keep everyone safe. This is what the Biden administration is trying to talk to these private companies into doing. Well, let's analyze that. You see, it's still the same thing. It's still fascism or communism, whatever you want to call it, but it's coming from private companies. So I have a term for that. I call it corporate communism.
All right, Alex, you're always got
the actual term for that is fascism, when corporations are involved in high levels of government, basically, and it becomes this monolith. Also, the mark of the beast thing, that's a biblical term for during the end times, basically, when there's the whole battle for humanity, that everybody's going to get a mark on their foreheads that the devil basically bestows on you to say if you're a slave or if you're a part of the, I don't even know whatever the fuck the Bible says. It's all nonsense. But that's, I think they initially said the mark of the beast would be done by Bill Gates via vaccinations, but now she's got to turn to Joe Biden to do it.
This is hysterical. I mean, like, first it's masks. So they just have to find their enemy. Like, how are they trying to control us with this? God forbid you have a piece of paper. They want us safe. I mean, she even says it in her commentary. They're focused on us being safe. Like, oh my God.
Yeah. Also, I would love her to define corporate communism.
I love that. I want that tattooed on my arm.
Well, that's because like fascism, like a lot of people in her fan base don't have necessarily a problem with that. I also, Vincent Bevins, who wrote the Jakarta Method, had this tweet, which I think is this is the proper context. Because Justin Amash also said, no vaccine passport, it doesn't get much more dystopian than being required to show your, quote, health papers wherever you go. Vincent Bevins says, a more terrifying scenario would be that your movement around the world is restricted simply by your place of birth.
Oh, yeah. What's her stance on migrants having to show papers at the border? That's almost like a mark of the Latin American beast.
You know what? Voter ID is the mark of the beast.
There you go.
Right.
Corporate communism.
Somehow it's corporate communism. What would that be, Marjorie Tylor Greene? And I love how she has to look at her paper for Mark of the Beast. Doesn't she have her QAnon talking points down by this point?
No, she's too busy doing CrossFit to study.
I'm at the gyms that she says are closed in DC, but are actually open. All right, now we will take another call based on that.
Don't they have like brain oil? Like when you're in CrossFit, and I know I'm probably offending a ton of people. Don't you have to take all this brain oil stuff? Isn't that part of it? Like they all these like Joe Rogan-esque products, and they just drink the brain oils, and it's supposed to make you smarter.
I feel like, yeah, that's just endemic to a lot of gym culture.
Yeah. What is brain oil? Like,
I'm a yogi. We meditate.
I
fracking fluid for your cortex.
I did yoga before the pandemic, and now I don't because it's like I really have a hard time being present by myself, which is a bad thing. But I need to do yoga, with just those instructional videos. I do just regular workouts now, but I think it's affecting my mind. It's just so.
You want to do group yoga? I'm happy to we could set up a time. We could partner up.
I'd be down to practice first before I do it because I don't want to embarrass myself with your.
It's not yoga's not about embarrassment.
Well, that's my own insecurity. So talking. Let's
You can join us too.
Matt. Yeah, would you be down?
I'm not super flexible, but we'll see.
No one is. That's why you do yoga.
I'm especially not. Even like when I was playing sports in high school, I couldn't touch my toes. Is unbelievable.
I have really bad hamstrings. I've been doing yoga for like 17 years and can do crazy poses, but I still can't bend over and touch my toes. Like I barely can.
Oh,
It's
wow.
just what happens. I'm sure Sam is really loving how we're hosting the show right now, guys. This is what happens when you get us.
I mean, Sam, we should do that on the Majority Report Twitch channel. Is get Sam on the yoga pad because that would be
my God.
pretty fun.